Button. What? Oh crap!
We're live.
We're live, but we're not live on Twitter. I got to solve that problem. Give me a second, folks. That's the goofy world. But anyhow, hi, I'm Rand Hoppy. I'm the executive director of the Jack Kirby Museum,
and I am Tom Kraft.
Yes,
the president of the Jack Kirby Museum.
I am frantically logging in so that we can get the word out to our friends on what is it again? Periscope. So no, maybe it's not going to work on Periscope today. Phooey. All right. Well, we're just going to move on because why spend time blah blah blahing? So sorry about that, Periscope folks. So we're here on YouTube and Facebook. Hello, and please feel free to say hi to us in the chat rooms. We will do our best to respond. And well, I'm gonna bring up the big screen, the big presentation thing, and I will hide the little window at the bottom because it really annoys Tom. So there it goes.
He's so kind and thoughtful.
I do. I try to take care of you, you know. So welcome. This is the Kirby Museum's Jack Kirby's Fourth World at 50 series. We decided that it's the Fourth World is 50 years old, and we decided to do something about that. And then the pandemic hit, so we decided to do a whole bunch of streams. The first one we did was called The Ramp Up. It was episode 0. It was kind of an introduction as to where Jack Kirby got some of his ideas and inspirations, and we showed some fun stuff from Tales of Asgard and so on. That kind of led up to that. We in mid-June, we did episode 1, the number ones of the 3 main Fourth World comics. That was a fun one. Then we went off into, we spoke to Mike Royer for a while, and that was really fun. Mike's a great guy. So, the series it's a Jack Kirby Fourth World summer. And I make these fantastic eye-melting angry fruit salad graphics. Episode 2, July 9th, we did 5 comics. That was way too much. We say it every time. We don't want to do 5 comics ever again. It was an hour and a half. And while we love Jack Kirby's comics, hour and a half of that stuff is too much, right?
Right. Yeah.
So then we moved on to episode 3, Forever People, A New Gods 3, 2 issues. Again, early August. We looked at the calendar. Here's what happened. I looked at the calendar and I said, wait a minute, are we going to get all these issues in during the summer? And made the decision that, we're going to go with the astronomical summer being the one that ends, September 20th or something? Yeah.
21st.
Because we're not going to do the cultural summer of ending on Labor Day. We're not going to make it. So we started, upping the frequency of these things. So August 6th, we did episode 4, Mr. Miracle 3, Jimmy Olsen 135. Then we moved on August 13th, episode 5, Happy Land and Barda. That was fun. We did 3 comics, D and Alien for Terror and Deep Six, August 16th. Oh my gosh. What? Oh, and then we did this one Thursday. That was just a few days ago. We're back.
Yeah. So we're trying to do Thursdays and Sundays. So add it to your calendar. Do the follow and the alarm thing so that you get the news in the pop-ups and the notifications, because we do plan on doing these things regularly at this point. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen and go through all these Fourth World comics because it's fun. One of the other thing is fun is that next weekend we are going to do 3 days of this stuff from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. where we're going to be right here talking to people. We'll be inviting people in and talking to them and looking at Jack Kirby art, other wonderful things, and just talking about Jack for 3 days in celebration of his 103rd birthday.
And how many
And
people do we have now?
19,
How many guests?
19 different segments we've scheduled.
It's literally going to be back to back
Craziness. Hour by hour. Just it's really going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Whatever it turns into. We are going to have kind of a virtual birthday party on Friday night, I guess, around 7, where in this place that we are now, we're using this piece of software, we can have 10 people. So hopefully we can have a bunch of people join us and, kind of just have kind of a chaotic, friendly Jack Kirby, fest for a little bit for a birthday. There will not be virtual cake. Maybe there will be virtual cake, but what's the point? Anyhow, so here we are. We are here. Oh my gosh, Tom, what did we take on here? This is like incredible.
Each one of these could be a whole episode.
Whole episode. We can talk about the glory boat for like 4 hours with all kinds of people.
This is really when Jack, in my opinion, hit his stride. It's right true. Here.
Yeah.
I mean, the great stories, well put together, just really solid stories.
Yeah. It's, they're like 24, 25, 26 pages. Royer is inking. It's just, it's where it's at. This is like, really good stuff. So I guess we'll start in on the glory boat. Where did we leave our heroes? It was
number 5.
Spawn and like Orion. What was happening?
Well, actually, there is PQ. This is a cover by Coletta, so there is some.
Oh, that's true.
Coletta in this one.
Yeah, this one is inked by Coletta. Yeah. Yeah. All right. What?
So we left it at the end, and Orion was he fought the Deep Six with Slig. Slig, is it right? Slig.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this thing because I don't have the gosh darn splash in here. So watch me in Google Slides. I'm sorry. So yeah, keep talking about what happened and where we're at.
Yeah, he defeated Slig, and then he went off in search of some huge thing that was in a harness. And at the last page of the last issue, we find out it's this huge, gigantic whale-like destroyer beast mutation that they had.
Because he mutated the little crustacean into kind of a weird dragon thing.
Yeah, his right hand mutates things, and his left hand puts electric bolts that kill things.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty guy.
So, there's all kinds of... Where is this? Why did I not put the splash page in? I don't know. Oh, yeah, there it is. Beautiful. Jeez, dude. What's the deal? All right. So, here we go. The fantastic splash. And I will present. And then I will add. And there we are. So we had the cover, which was just pretty weird. It's kind of like a mummified character on a boat, on a wooden boat, with these characters. The who are they? They're like the green underwater monsters.
Yeah. I've never seen any photocopies of this cover or anything. No original.
Not the art, nothing.
No, nothing.
So, so here's this incredible splash. That's why I took that minute, because it's just so cool. This whole comic is just great.
And this is the mutated whale that they mutated, the Deep Six.
Right. So, Apocalypse is coming to Earth. Mystic, the Deep Six, mystic mutators of the deep. Oh, man. Okay. Bam! Oh, gosh. What?
I guess that big thing in the middle, and where the bam is his tongue going through. I don't know what that is.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I think you're right. Woo!
I saw this. I don't know if we ever scanned it, but I saw this art in person like back in, I don't know, 2001 or so.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty nice.
It's a beautiful, really dynamic spread. It's just great. Destroys the ship. That's it. He has an insatiable will to destroy. And
it's great art in this, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Roy's inks are beautiful, and it's just seeing Orion come out of the water vertically like that, it's just so cool.
and Mike opting to not put the panel borders in, so that it just makes it what he would call the poster effect.
Yes, right.
But just beautiful. And so we have some survivors of that ship, right? These three people.
The Aurora, SS Aurora.
That's right.
Not the SS Minnow.
Not the Minnow. No. Okay. Right. So the reason why I'm showing these pages like this is to kind of reflect the way they were printed in the comic. So when you see a 2 pages or a spread, this would have been an advertisement along with this page, just as a reminder to folks out there that's what I'm up to. So Orion shows up, and they say they're in trouble, but he takes off, and they're like, "What the heck?"
He's distracted. He's not paying attention to them, really.
He's not leaving. That's right. He's got a small but powerful element transmitter that emits a strong magna beam, and he's pulling their craft. Okay,
towing it.
Yeah. So it's father, daughter, and husband, son-in-law. Right, and it's the 3.
Yes.
Right on.
And you got to remember, what year was this? 72, 73?
72.
I think it was 70. Yeah, it was during the Vietnam War.
Right.
And that this is really a reflection that Jack had of society at the time in a lot of ways.
Yep. So he's pulling their raft. Then what happens? Oh yeah. There's that.
You see a wooden craft, a strange wooden craft that was constructed.
And it's got this again, that like mummified, wrapped up person on the what?
Light Ray.
He's alive, and it's Light Ray. What's that all about? Oh, okay. Kelp, living steel fibered kelp, another mutation of the Deep Six. Huh. So the kelp had imprisoned Light Ray. And people get on the leave their raft and get on the wooden craft. They kind of have that, New Gods bro moment. Good to see you. Right?
Yep. It's true.
And what demons swill the Deep Six have served up inside this craft? So, yeah. It's Farley Sheridan, president of Sheridan Industries.
You must know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's typical, kind of like a rich kind of. They have a yacht, and they're.
It's son and daughter. It's not daughter and son-in-law. My mistake. Forgive me.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
See that. So the son is a conscientious objector. He doesn't like war, violence, or killing.
And Light Ray says, "Well, there's a lot of people back where I come from that are just like you."
That's right.
Wasn't Jack against the war? I believe he was.
He was. Yeah.
He didn't want his son to ever be in the war.
The Vietnam thing. Yeah.
The Vietnam War.
He told his son that he would support him dodging the draft for that. So there's
it's a caller, whatever that is, but it's a caller. It's basically
Yikes.
Kind of like sending signals to that huge whale, mutated whale.
Oh, right. It's its brain.
It's basically its brain, yeah. So, Light Ray uses his powers to reorganize it in the image of New Genesis.
Oh.
And it turns into a box,
he
but it's a box that's going to grow.
He removed the taint of apocalypse from
Yes.
from the sender or the caller. Yes. Okay. All right. So then the Sheridans come down, and there's still some stuff going on.
So all of a sudden, everything comes to a stop.
Oh,
because he had changed it.
Oh, right. Oh, Jafar. So yeah, they're what are they doing? I mean, they're just kind of looking around. What is Light Ray is doing his thing, like removing the taint of apocalypse from other stuff. No.
Yep.
Yeah. So the Sheridans are still there, and then we have the argument, the father and son stuff, which is really great. Very, very well written. Dad is a World War II veteran.
Yeah, and he kind of I don't know if it's at this point, but he remembers when he was in Normandy on the beaches like Jack was back, in World War II.
Whoops. Nope,
now the thing is growing into something else, and it's funny because it almost looks like the background of this.
It looks a little like the Dream Machine that we've got using on the background here. Yeah. That's interesting.
And Jack did the Dream Machine when, like in '75, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, no, the black and white line art for one section of the Dream Machine was Marvel Mania era. Right?
Oh, okay, right. The outline part, yes, in the background and the inside front cover and back cover.
The color, he extended it and put that head on it, and then painted it.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that the original side was probably late '60s then?
Yeah, early, yeah. Because it was Marvel Mania, right? Yeah, right. 69, 70. Oh boy! So then these guys are showing up. Well, yeah,
this is Jafar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dad panics. He's supposed to be the one that's the brave one.
He's the tough guy. Yeah,
he's a tough one, and
yeah. And then what happens? Oh, and then it's time for a mega side by side.
Dun dun dun.
It's true. So here's one of a scan of one of the pencil photocopies from Kirby's pencil art, and it's just looking great. And then here is a scan of the original art with Royer's inks and letters on it. One thing is fun to note with this one, is why I chose it, is it has Kirby's note for the sound effect at the top of the photocopy. Cool. Yeah, it's fun, and the little drawing as to how it should go. And then there's how it was printed. So 3 of them side by side, and you really get to see the process of comic book production, art. It's kind of fun to look at it that way. All right, we're back. So the pacifist goes in and protects his family, and attacks Jafar. Oh man,
he loses his face.
He loses his face. He comes kind of like a horrible, shiny face. And Orion shows up, blasts him off the boat. hits him. Really classic Orion drawing there. Iconic Orion drawing.
Great drawing.
Yeah. I know. I believe there is a John Morrow drawing taken from that when he was 13 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He shared that in one of his presentations. So they come back and the son is just, he's in trouble there, and the father has those kind of like white eyes, so he's
kind of lost it.
He's lost it.
Totally.
Yeah.
He just can't face the fact that the son that he was making fun of, that was constantly pestering about being a pacifist, saved him, and he just can't deal with it. But the death serves, Light Ray, that we find out later on.
Yeah.
And he's going to be repurposed to join the Source.
Yeah. And the more sea monsters show up.
Great.
It's Ego, the flying fin back.
Yeah. We get to meet them all now. They all coming out of the water.
And then this incredible shot of Orion, just really slamming Shaligo like that is just a very, very dynamic pose. The awesome leap, just great Kirby physical choreography, action, comics stuff. Just brilliant. We'll keep moving. Oh my gosh, yes, and there's that page. Another mega side by side. It's just great to look at it this way. I mean, you just see how great Royer is, how truthful he was to Jack's intent. And fighting, things catch on fire. Where's Light Ray? Dad's tied up. Light Ray's tied the old man to the mast. But then the sun's face is back. Wow. The ocean is totally in turmoil. Look at this, these 2 pages as a spread. It's incredible.
Can you just go back one?
Sure, of course.
Sorry, I was answering somebody.
Oh, yeah. What do we got?
Oh, it's just that this whole fight scene and this panel on the right side at the top right, I've seen before. I think it was used in the letters or something someplace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a beautiful panel where, and what's interesting is that it's kind of like you don't expect Light Ray to be the one that is kind of battling and everything, because at the beginning it made it sound like he was just, he was an innocent and just there. But you find out here that, and Orion says, "Are you mad, Light Ray?" Because he's got this whole thing. He's really a planner. He's kind of like, in some ways, a positive version of Darkseid. Because Darkseid's the planner and he plans everything else. Well, Light Ray is very similar. He doesn't get into the fighting like Orion does, which is very muscular and very aggressive, but he does things and he plans it. And you'll see that he acts this way too in later issues, like I think New Gods number 11, or he plans this thing out, and Orion doesn't know about it either. So Orion is surprised at this point and he realizes that Light Ray had this all planned out.
Wow.
And he even had the death of the guy planned out, of the son planned out, and all that. I think
that's
he said someplace.
Yeah. We're all your pawns.
You fight battles like a planner instead of a warrior.
Yeah.
And so on the left is the monstrosity of a whale that's been mutated, and they're all like going head to head. And on the right is what ended up happening with that cube with the collar and all that.
Oh, right. Yep.
turned into this huge missile, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a warhead. Wow.
And you know, right before this all happened, the son got his face back, and he's draped across it because he's going to be sent to the source like a warrior.
Right.
Like a god.
Hello. So this is an interesting thing. We have these two photocopies, and we noticed this. We had the similar situation with this in the last episode, where we have a photocopy taken of Kirby's pencil art before he put the script on. So you get to see it kind of as on its own, unscripted, and then Kirby went in and then erased some stuff and wrote the script. And not only that, but if you look at Light Ray's balloon, he originally wrote, "If we must die, let New Genesis live." But there's something else. It says, "Then let us die and New Genesis live." So I don't know what's going on with that, to be honest. But that pencil where it says "then let us" and new, that's actual pencil on the photocopy. That's not a photocopy of pencils. So Jack actually wrote on this photocopy those extra pencil words. Why? I have no idea. It's just that's part of the fun.
But they were never used, right?
They were not used. Yeah, it was Mike lettered it. "If we must die, let New Genesis live." You know, so yeah, it's just a fun little note that kind of thing that we find in looking at the archives. And then, you know, it's a big blast, and Orion and Light Ray fly away, and there's Dad tied up to a stick to the mast. What happened to the daughter? Do you remember?
The daughter went off on the Astroforce, so Orion put her on there to go to be safe.
Great.
There wasn't enough time to put the father on it.
Oh,
the father didn't want to leave anyway,
right?
And then he ends up adrift. You know.
Yeah.
And it was all planned out too, because Orion just planned the timing so that when they started the attack on the previous page, it would push the father on that what's left of the wooden thing out of harm's way, and you can see in the distance there's a ship coming.
Yeah.
To save him. I'm alive, but I can't
left to live out my life wandering.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I'm wondering about my philosophy. Like, well, you know, I'm a warrior. I was like, I'm Normandy World War II guy, but my pacifist son, you know, died as a warrior, you know, trying to save me.
And I chickened out and I ran the other way.
Yeah, it's a conundrum, you know, one of life's great mysteries, you know. It's really good. All right. The Glory Boat. Holy smokes. That was a half hour.
I know.
All right.
Do an hour and a half again.
All right. Let's see what happens. So here's some letters pages. Mike Cherkas ended up doing some cartooning. Bob Rozakis ended up working at DC. But that's so now here we are. Well. It's Funky Flashman, villain or hero. You decide. Okay.
Somebody has to.
Again, the mega side by side. Hilariously, whatever happened in the Kirby Xerox machine did not photocopy the full pencil art.
So the way that they photocopied art is which is kind of scary if you think about it. But,
they would use
like automatic feeders and copy machines. They just put the stack of 18, 20 pages, including the cover, but not the spreads, because the spreads at that point were all solid big, so they couldn't run it through the automatic thing. And they just hit the button. And so in some cases we find some of the photocopies are cut off like this, unfortunately, because it's such a beautiful cover. I mean, it's just awesome.
I just keep using it. It's yet again a great
iconic figure of Mr. Miracle, just classic. I mean, they've used it for a cover of a trade paperback, I think, or
Yeah, they did for they used it for the Omnibus number volume 2.
Yeah, it's just a classic. So there's the cover. It's really something. And I think didn't Mike Royer talk about Oberon on this cover where he was like,
yeah,
Jack just gave it. I mean, you kind of look at the pencils and there's just the tiniest little bit of stuff there, and Mike was really struggling, I think.
Yeah, he said he was, and he wasn't happy with
it. That
yeah.
So, all right. Oh boy.
So who's Funky Flashman have to do with? He seems like somebody I've heard of before.
I don't know. It's so. One thing I'll say about this issue: not a lot of spreads or splashes. Jack had a story to tell, so there's lots of panel pages with stuff going on. You know, like it's not like here's this amazing vista. We're gonna pop your eyes out. Nope, it's like da 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 and then da da da. So
it's interesting reading the text too, because you think that most kids reading the text are 10, 11. They probably don't know half of these words. I mean, I didn't know what antebellum meant.
Right.
Yep. My wife had to tell me what it was.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, there's this great interview from with Jack and Carmine Infantino from Comics and Crypt fanzine. That was from January of '71. So like the first issues just came out, and these kids went to the DC offices to talk to the Carmine Infantino, the publisher, and Jack Kirby about this new line of comics. And you know, Jack was ready for truly ready for like trying to take on like the Lord of the Rings kind of audience, like a true college audience. He was not writing to 13-year-olds and not making 13-year-olds feel they're sophisticated by reading stuff that they say is for 15 or 17-year-olds. But Jack was trying to up the game, you know, in these comics. So it kind of makes sense, you know. Excuse me. All right, I know. So what is going on here? We've got this guy in a robe. Looks like a butler and a statue. Oh my gosh.
So he gets a certain amount of money every month from whoever passed away.
The old colonel,
and he has to reach into the statue's mouth, and it magically makes a noise, and you know that there's money in there that he pulls out.
Wow.
Yeah. Like bored.
Yeah. So yep. So and so you know, this is the famous issue where basically, you know, Jack is parodying or doing a satirical evisceration of Stan Lee. So you didn't hear it here first because it's pretty well known. But
it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. So this is kind of like, you know, it's Roy Thomas and Stan Lee.
Called him Houseroy
and Funky Flashman. And they decide, what are they going to do? They're going to try to become Mr. Miracle's manager.
Yeah.
That happened?
That's right.
So he's going to put on some hair to make him fascinating because image is so important. And Funky is very threatening to his major domo, butler, toady, whatever. So now we're back. Here's Scott and Oberon trying out a new trick. Escape.
They're always trying a new trick.
Almost every issue there's like, let's try this one. You know, okay.
The last issue it was a giant Civil War cannon, and Oberon was up like a little Civil War general or something.
The Civil War cannon that Barta picked up and had over her shoulder, and yeah, it's great.
And that was the first issue that Mike inked, and you know. We went through that, so watch that one with the faces, Barda's faces, and all that.
Oh yeah, that was fun to go through that. So okay, here's the test of the rocket sled. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh no.
Nope. Oberon doesn't see that he actually had a rocket in there, and Mr. Miracle, Scott Frieden, mentioned it to him. So Oberon is kind of like a mother hen, always like worried and scared, and very protective of Mr. Miracle. And Barda doesn't see at all through Funky Flashman. She sees him. She actually thinks that he's more like a cheap copy of somebody from back home from Apocalypse.
From Apocalypse, yeah. Oh, that hat, the scarf, cigarette in a holder. Hey, you didn't get here by the boom tube, did you?
She thought he did.
Yeah,
because he's such a jerk.
yeah.
He only cares about himself.
Yeah. They come back, and this panel at the bottom right of page 9, he's about to kick Oberon.
But he doesn't do it. He's just like, and look, even the one next to it to the left, he's like
pinching him.
I don't know what he's doing.
He's pinching him. This fantastic elfin creature. Oh my god! Yikes! All right, so then, oh boy, yeah, so he's hugging Oberon for having brought coffee. I'm just gonna go. This is the Barda takes a bath page, which apparently, I guess Mark Evanier wrote. So he's I guess they, the comics, they page count stories things were a little bit flexible. This, it's like Jack said, I need another page. So then I guess Mark suggested a bathing page. But then
the last issue too.
Then we have Harriet, first appearance. Fantastic.
Yeah, that Harriet.
She looks great.
Isn't she supposed to be like modeled after Phyllis Diller or something like that?
Sure. Yeah.
That's what she reminds me of. Totally.
Yeah, she's great. So then we don't really know yet, but the battle unit has been assigned to kill Barda and Scott Free.
Right, and Barda, that's her battle unit. She was
the Furies, like the female Furies.
Yeah.
And then Stampa shows up with her big boot. And so there's all kinds of trouble.
So they're poofing in and out because they have I forget what they say that they have, but they could phase in and phase out.
Oh. Their clothes are webbed with phasing circuits.
Yes, that's it. The strange thing is during this issue, they phase out. You think that they could phase in again, but she said Barda acts like, okay, those two have phased out, so that's it. And then there's only two more, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think if they could phase out, they could phase in, but whatever.
Okay, so
look at this costume.
The next day, Funky's got like some safari thing going on
with a scarf and everything, and these sunglasses, and
gotta hide those aging jowls. The beard glue.
It's a fake beard.
Yeah,
everything's fake about him.
So he's right. So there's the circular saw thing. There's the bowl, the big bowl. So we get to see two kind of fun things.
And then it's like this round thing that blows up, but he's surrounded by mother box.
And then
what happens is that Mother Box saves him. Well, he uses Mother Box, and then Funky really asked him, like, what's your gig? Kind of what are you using to do some of this stuff? And he says Mother Box helps, and he gives it to Funky Flashman and forgets about it because on the next page she gets distracted.
Yeah, because Lashina shows up.
That's right.
Man.
The women fight.
Yikes. What a costume. Wow.
Yeah, that's a crazy costume.
Yeah, and then she phases out.
Yep.
And it's mega side-by-side time. So we didn't have a lot of original art from the Female Fury pages. So
probably
the only one. This was the only one that we have a lot of the pencil photocopies for the whole issue, but I really wanted to do something with the Furies, so this was the only one that we had.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's great. It's totally great. I mean, I love it. You know, just so. I mean, it's so nice to see Mike being so you know, truthful to Jack's intent. I said that last time. I'll say it again. It's lovely. It's really lovely. All right, we're moving on.
So they do phase back. Actually, I was wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because it's tied into the Mother Box. So they're using the Mother Box as a way to locate.
Oh, and it's got the GPS Bluetooth thing going on, and they're using it.
Mr. Miracle. Sorry.
Yeah, they're using the Bluetooth GPS of the Mother Box to locate and get that. Find my phone. So Funky's got it, throws it away, and then it happens. Oh, so this time we get Bernadette too, the sister of the Sad. Oh yeah. Oh boy.
She shoots like some type of arrows or something. If I
have
her hand or something.
They look great. Look at them, the four of them down there. It's just so cool. All right.
And of course, Funky Flashman likes listening to his voice, and all his followers will love to hear his voice, and he's not paying attention to all these. Oh
man, yeah,
females coming after him. Oh yeah, there it is. There she's.
Oh, she's got like a dart.
Arida. Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, he throws Houseroy at them.
Yeah. And then runs away, and the house explodes. Well.
And then, you know, Funky Flashman is never discouraged from himself and how great he is. He says, on to new conquest. Funky Flashman, you winner, you.
Yeah.
They find Houseroy. Doesn't look too good.
Mm-mm.
They realize that Funky's gone, and then that's not a bad thing. Right. And it's interesting because I don't know if anybody out there read Mr. Miracle by Tom King and Mitch Gerards, but Funky Flashman's a big part of several of the issues. It's just really interesting because then he keeps on referring back to certain things. But it's an interesting read for that as well.
And we have a young Scott Free story where he's in the orphanage with Granny Goodness. Mike's lettering is looking huge, which I think we talked about last time. Oh, look, not a mega side by side, just a side by side, the pencil photocopy and the printed, just for fun because we had it.
Looks nice.
Looks great.
So this is the orphanage, and everybody. This takes place actually. The last issue of New Gods had him in, what did they call the confinement? Something. I think they mentioned it here.
They call it a punishment cell here, but there was something else, like a contemplation.
That's right. Contemplation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a jail cell. It's not a imprisonment.
So this takes place right after that,
That's
theoretically.
right. Because Metron showed up at the end of that episode,
Yes.
and then he shows up here too as a vision, and tells Scott to not eat the food because it's got the
Brain drain.
brain chemical in it. So that's nice. Oh, another side by side. Letters page. Yeah. All right, here we go. The Omega Effect.
So this cover was inked by Cleta. I actually had Mike Royer recreated at one point.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Looks okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, here we go. Justifiers.
They justify everything.
We have the flying boots.
What happened in the last issue?
Oh,
Right?
what happened? So
They were in Happy Land.
they were in Happy Land, and Sonny Sumo got them out.
Now, yeah, they got him in the last issue. Sonny Sumo, who's a wrestler, got them out. Yes,
Right.
and so this takes place like right afterwards. So,
Yeah.
so they were all freed. And then also we learned in the last issue that Sonny, with the help of Motherboard, has access to the anti-life equation.
Right. Mother Box. Yeah.
Mother Box, yes. Sorry.
Right.
And the vehicle that they have actually is in a way a living vehicle, and it protects itself.
It does. Yeah.
So these are justifiers, and they're trying to destroy the vehicle. So the vehicle turns into like a machine.
We've been here before. This is Godfrey's tent, I realize.
This is above. This is on the cliff above Godfrey's tent.
Godfrey's kind of like revival tent or whatever it's called, where he
So he tries to convert normal Earthlings into justifiers, and justifiers can justify, like it sounds like murder, cheating, anything.
Yeah. So this is the super cycle has been left there since like quite a few issues ago.
2 issues ago. 2 issues ago.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to move on. All right. Well, okay, justifier. So no, there's that guy with the glasses.
The accountant. We called him an accountant.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so we're here with Sonny. And
he's using the anti-life equation.
That's right. Right. Oh, mega side by side.
It's just a great panel, a great splash.
Yeah. Love the tech, the circular motif on the tech around the text. This is lovely. And Mike's display there on the Forever People. Very nice as well. Okay. So he's basically doing his best to have all the warriors stand down.
It's kind of interesting he says these things, but they don't affect the Forever People. They only
Right. I obey. Give me your gun.
And
I don't remember Mark Moonrider having like a ponytail like that, like some mullet action.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
In previous issues? Yeah. All right.
I don't know about previous issues. Maybe
Yeah.
not. I don't know. I have to look back.
Doesn't really matter. But so yeah, he uses it and he starts shooting up Happy Land.
Couple well-placed blasts.
Captives or
It's interesting, the bottom right panel where he's running and he just throws the gun over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Commandy issue. I think it's number 2 maybe 3, where he blows up this atomic thing, and he runs and he throws the thing, just like the same kind of design. It's
all right. Cops show up, and they're like, "Hey, what's up with these guys? They're just standing here. Who are these birds? Take them in for questioning." So some of the vehicles just start taking off. Godfrey's vehicle, what? The shuttles, air van shuttles, take off.
And Big Bear
Grabs
tries
one.
to grab one of them and blast him out. Big Bear is always the center of like amusement.
Yes.
Comedy relief.
And Sonny's just telling them all, "Sleep, you dogs."
And Darkseid realizes that they've been outsmarted by the Genesis brats.
Yep. The young hot bloods of New Genesis. Yeah.
He decides to use the Omega effect.
He's going to do it.
It's the ultimate mental weapon.
It is.
You know it.
Look at that drawing of Darkseid there, though. The bottom.
Yeah, it's nice.
Right. And then this.
What a beautiful splash. This has got to be, in my opinion, one of the best. My favorite Darkseid splash.
Oh, and Viking is still around, though.
Yeah, Viking went off alone to try to find the Sled. And ended up getting more than he bargained for.
Yeah. And then Darkseid just turns around and
zaps him.
But I believe we have mega side by side.
So I don't know how much was drawn after the first photocopy on the left, but look at the background and how much Mike added to it that didn't exist.
It's pretty amazing.
Not to say that there wasn't like another more work done after the photo.
By Jack. Jack might have worked on it.
But Mike, I definitely is characteristic of adding those geometric kind of
the blacks,
sharp angle blacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He always did that. And he might have done even more. You might have done the whole background.
He may have. All right. Oh, and there it is. Okay. So there's
such a beautiful splash.
Not really dramatic. And then, here it comes.
The Omega effect is seeking them out.
Yes.
It's relentless.
It is.
It won't stop.
They've had like nothing but trouble, these kids.
Yeah, ever since they left Supertown.
Yeah.
Hasn't been super.
Mm-mm. And then poor Seraphan gets left behind.
Yeah.
He's always been put in a strange place, you know?
And then Sled is all about like torture and everything, and he gets so bent out of shape by the fact that he didn't zap Seraphan and send him with the Omega effect, that he slaps him.
And you know, I actually I have this one obsession about Darkseid, especially Kirby's Darkseid, just because it's not. I actually started compiling some data for the physicality of Darkseid, because it seems like everybody who uses Darkseid later wants to have him have a slugfest with Superman, which I'm not really into. It's like, really, Darkseid's gonna have a slugfest with Superman? Because
Darkseid again is the planner. He wouldn't
exactly. So like, this slap of Sled is probably like one of 3 or 4 times that Darkseid actually gets physical.
I know.
In all of Kirby's work. Meanwhile, the Superman shows up on Apocalypse. It's time for another Darkseid slugfest. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. But another great drawing of Darkseid, lower right there on page 18. Just beautiful.
Yeah, just snarling like that.
And it's funny too.
But he can manipulate it, which is interesting because the Omega effect they led you to believe at the beginning meant that they all died, but actually he can manipulate it in many ways.
Yes.
And then he says they're not actually dead. They just are not either. What does he say? Not here or now or something like that.
Not here, not now. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I can manipulate it in many intriguing ways.
And we find out in the next issue.
Don't give it away.
I'm not.
Okay.
What those ways are.
Oh, very good. Okay. And Seraphan
grabs the thing that got destroyed by Big Bear and uses one of his modules in his hat in order to fill in the circuitry that got damaged so that it can function. And he takes out because he doesn't want to answer the police or anything.
And he goes back to the supercycle.
How he knows where it is, I don't know, because they were all
cosmic cartridge told him.
Okay.
All right.
I was reading. It's like, well, he wouldn't remember where it was. He was like knocked out. They were all knocked out.
Yeah.
And he has no mother box. So how did he know? I don't know. Maybe one of his cartridges, because he uses that in order to identify him.
Yeah. And that's it. And then we have the next issue, which is fun. I'll Find You in Yesterday, right?
This is one of the backup stories, and it's inked by Cleta.
Yes. Young Gods of Supertown. Raid from Apocalypse. But one of the things that's special about this particular Coletta inked backup story, dun, 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 we don't have a lot of pencils for Coletta inked work.
Takes place in New Genesis.
Yep. And
Seraphan is meditating.
Yes. Can't you see?
And he's interrupting.
Come on.
Gets interrupted.
And then Big Bear shows up.
It's funny. It says I can't read it. It's horribly ugly pollutant or something like that.
It's horribly ugly pollutant. You must be mad to bring this here.
They're so like innocent and childlike.
Yeah. Oh, and Big Bear is exercising with a huge tree. And that's it. 4 pages of fun with the kids on New Genesis.
They realize that it's a sign of things to come, that things are not going to get better. They're going to get worse. Time for a great trial.
Yep. Letters pages. Mike Barr ended up being a comics writer. Anybody else? Bob Rozakis again. And that's it. My God, we made it. It's 8 o'clock.
Wow, we have 2 minutes to spare.
Okay,
I didn't think we were going to do it.
I know. I didn't think so either. But that was great. Those issues are amazing, and just
they are.
That art. It just seems like Jack was really feeling it. Like he was really every page, every scene, just very, very rich. So, and we have more to come with the next few issues when we get the Pact and what else? I'll see you in yesterday.
Find You in Yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a great story too.
Yeah.
Are we going to get back to any of the Jimmy Olsen stories?
We will. We're gonna do Jimmy Olsen. We're gonna do like 3 issues of Jimmy Olsen
on Thursday.
I know. I forget.
Okay.
I think so. But it'll show up at some point.
Probably next weekend during the 103 celebration on Sunday. We'll continue doing this at probably 7 o'clock after it all ends.
That's right.
Or during it, Brett.
So we'll be all punchy from having done like 24 hours of live stream.
Yeah, it's going to be a marathon.
3 days.
we're going to be on like 7 or 8 hours a day for 3 days.
Yeah.
So my wife already said she's going to have to bring me my food to my desk.
Right. Yeah. So
I promise to turn off the camera while I'm chewing.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's right. And mute. Please mute the mic while chewing. Oh man. So I guess Lynn, like people have said that Goodman was Colonel Mockingbird, but then there's been other people who have kind of thinking about somebody about Funky taking money out of somebody's mouth, like whose mouth was Stan Lee taking money out of? Well, it was Jack Kirby. So I don't know what's going on, with that. There's a few ways to look at it, but I guess it's Goodman. It's the more obvious answer. But anything else? I can't think of it. We're gonna be letting the cat out of the bag as far as our guests for next weekend pretty soon.
Do we have a sign up on our museum site for our email campaigns and stuff?
There is a newsletter. Sign up for our newsletter on our home.
Sign up for the newsletter because we're assembling the list of people and we're like, what did you say? Like 19 or 20 different, and some people that are really incredible are going to be, we're very thankful and grateful that they're going to be joining us. We don't want to say any names right now because we're still making sure everything goes together and planning timing and everything, but sign up for the newsletter and you'll get the schedule. And also we'll put it, of course, on Facebook and we'll tweet it out constantly. And if you get a chance, we'll also have a way, because we're going to be, did we discuss if we're going to be doing an auction? We might be doing at least some type of auction, but we don't know yet. But
I want to do an auction. I just, been caught up in all this other stuff.
And we set up an interesting way for people to easily donate to the museum right on their phone. You could just text it right to us and donate some money to us to help us to support these types of shows, because the service to do this and all the overhead expenses and all that, they add up every year. And now we don't have conventions to sell stuff that easily. So go to our museum.org, kirbymuseum.org, and check out our gift shop and buy t-shirts and prints and everything else and books.
I mean, and we're going to be firing up the Kirby 103 hashtag on social media so that we hopefully will get some Kirby fan art and some Kirby cosplay photos as part of the celebration as well on social media, because we've seen some great fan art and some great cosplay out there that would be fun to be part of the celebration as well. So I think it'll just be Kirby 103.
Sounds great.
All right, everybody. I think it's time to go. Thanks, Tom. Really appreciate it. and Mike, when are you going to come back? Come back, Mike.
We need you.
We need you, man.
He's our mascot.
No.
That's what he says. No, he's more than that. He's a great addition to our group of trustees, the three of us.
So thanks again, and we're gonna move on. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.